Here are a few ways you can get your very first rental property step by step. Hope you guys enjoy. So the very first way that you can go ahead and get your rental property is through a turnkey company. And in order to get a property from a turnkey company, you're gonna need a few things. One of the things that you're gonna need is a W-2 income. And you can work your way around it. You don't have to have a W-2 income, but it would be the easiest way to get financing from a lender if that's how you're going to be purchasing it from a turnkey company. If you're going to be buying it in all cash, then you don't really have to worry about that because you don't have to get financing. But if you are and you're looking to go get financing and purchase a property that way, then yes, you are going to need a W-2 income. The second thing you're going to need if you're buying a turnkey company, again, if you're not buying it all cash, is you're going to need to have a credit score of over 680. If you can get a credit score of over 680, great. If you can get it up to 700, 750, you're going to have an easier time getting financing from a lender. And at the same time, it's going to make it easier for you to get financing at a lower interest rate. So if you don't have any credit history, start building it up. And if you already have a pretty decent credit history, great. You're going to have an easy time getting a lender. The third thing that you are going to want to look for when you're buying a turnkey rental property is making sure that the finance makes sense. So is it going to cash flow good for you? Is the cash on cash return an amount that you are interested in? Is it something that you like to work with? When you factor in vacancy and maintenance expenses and all the other expenses such as property management fees, insurance, taxes, can your property still cash flow? And those are the things that I will look for in order to make sure that your property is cash flowing great and that this is a good rental property. The fourth and last thing that I'll be looking for in a rental property if I'm buying from a turnkey company is making sure that the property is being rehabbed properly and making sure to request some pictures, maybe even a report on what kind of work they've done on that property so you know exactly what's been done, and making sure that there also is a tenant in place and that they have a lease as well so that you know that as soon as you get that property from this turnkey company that it can start cash flowing from day one. So those are all the things that I will look for if I'm buying a rental property from a turnkey company, and those are the steps that I would take. Now the second way is to just buy it yourself, and that means finding the deal yourself, whether it be at an off-market deal or on the MLS, or even an agent if you know one that can find a property for you, and going through those sources and finding a property that you think can cash flow really, really well. And so doing your own research on the markets, doing your own research on whether or not the property needs a lot of work, and making sure that they can cash flow as well. So having said that, here's a step-by-step on how you can go ahead and purchase your rental property this way. So if you're buying a property this way, you're most likely going to be able to purchase the property at a lower purchase price than you would if you're buying it from a turnkey company. And so a lot of people do like this option, and you might be able to cash flow a little higher. But again, having said that, there are some risks involved. So the very first step in order to buy a rental property from an off-market deal or MLS or whatnot, you want to make sure that you have a little bit more capital than the purchase price of that property. And that way you have a little bit of extra money for emergency cases if the rehab is a little bit more expensive than it needs to be, or if your tenant leaves the very first month, at least you have some cash that you can use for the property in emergency cases. So step one, just having enough capital. I would recommend even maybe 10 to 20K above the purchase price of the property, so then you are comfortable with that property. The second step is to make sure that you're doing an inspection on the property so that you know what's wrong with the property, even how much it might cost in order to go get these things fixed in your property, and so that you know there are no foundational issues. It might be a 5K repair or 10K repair, and you're very well aware of what needs to be done on that property. The third thing I would recommend is looking for a property management company and insurance company to make sure that they can first insure your property, and second, you have a property management company that is able to take care of this property for you once you purchase it. So you're going to want to have them make sure that everything's smooth with the tenants, they're collecting rents for you, and if there are any fixes that need to be made, property management can take care of that for you. So that's another step that I would take to make sure that you have a good rental property that you can be a little more hands-off with. And the last step, well, really not the last step, but maybe more of a last tip, is just making sure that you have a trustable contractor there that can go ahead and make any rehabs for you if necessary. For example, if you're buying a rental property that's currently vacant, that you're looking to have tenanted very, very soon, but it needs about 3 to 5 grand of work, then you want a contractor that is able to do that. And sometimes your property management company might have contractors in their disposal, but other times they might not. So having a contractor that maybe you trust beforehand would be really, really good, and getting that bid from them as well, so you know exactly how much your rental property needs in rehab, and you would know how much you would need to put into that property in order to get it tenanted and cash flowing well as well. And again, same thing as you would with a turnkey property, just make sure your finances make sense. Make sure that after you collect rent and you're subtracting all your expenses such as insurance, tax, property management and whatnot, you are actually going to be able to cash flow. Now, if you do buy a property from us at Rocket Offer, we do provide and introduce you to property management company, insurance company. We even do inspection reports on the property before you even decide to buy it. And we can also refer you to contractors and whatnot. So if you are interested, let me know, and we can definitely go ahead and introduce you to our boots on the ground in the markets as well. So that's something we do. Just throwing it out there. I hope this video was useful, and comment below on what kind of videos you want to see next. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you on the next one. Peace.